So remember when I mentioned about, how it's always raining and how do you do laundry when it's always raining? Well, there are ways that you can kind of work around that. Check this out. My wife is so smart. You can't stop her. So some of the projects that we get to be involved with down here is something like this. This is a construction project that we're helping with the Cubans. So here's the idea, right? They got the houses building, so it's providing jobs for the workers. It's going to provide a house for somebody eventually in the future. And then in the sale of the property, whatever profit comes from that then gets rolled back into future projects for the Cubans, and then it just kind of spurs out down there. So this is how this microfinancing stuff kind of works. Right now they've been given about 5 days to finish this place, so they got a whole bunch of workers inside, about 25 people that are working like 24-hour shifts. I think they started yesterday morning. They stopped at 5 o'clock in the morning today, and they started up again maybe a few hours ago. Buying property in Cuba, right now the law says that Canadians and Americans and foreigners, anyone who's not Cuban, can't actually buy property. But because of the way the blockade has been opening up with the States, Cuba's going to be an amazingly hot real estate place to buy, homes and properties in the future. They say about 2 years from now. So in order to buy property here in Cuba, you either have to be Cuban and live here, you either have to have family in Cuba, or you can marry a Cuban. So the common denominator here is that the property goes under the name of a Cuban. That's why buying property as a foreigner can be pretty difficult right now. I'd say most properties for a lot of the Cubans here is kind of like tough living, but that's not the case for every house. Sometimes you can find quite the spots to hang out in. What's really cool about these projects is not only is it providing jobs during the construction phase, but when the house gets sold, that money gets put back into other projects, starting more businesses, feeding more people, providing more jobs, etc. So here's the cool opportunity for you. This house that I'm showing you right now is actually for sale. It's done, it's ready to go, it's on the market, and we're looking for buyers. Now here's what I want to paint the picture for you, okay? You're gonna get into the real estate market potentially 2 years early than everybody else. So hey, you want to turn it into a rental property? That's an option. Hey, you want to turn it into a headquarters for your ministry down in Cuba? That's an option. You want to live in it with your family and bring everybody down for the weekend and in the summer in Cuba because it's Cuba and it's paradise and you're living in a mansion in Cuba? That's an option. What we need to do is get in touch with you. Because I've married a Cuban here, there's ways we can work this out together so that it actually becomes something you can enjoy. It's yours and you're gonna absolutely love it. So keep in tune, get in touch with me, and we'll take it from there. And you can not only have an amazing house in an amazing country with an amazing climate and scenery, and it's like going back in time 50 years. Really, it's an experience that you've never had if you've ever been to Cuba. It's like going back in time 50 years. You can have all that, but also you're gonna be changing lives. You're gonna be feeding people. You're gonna be starting jobs all in the future, because this is just the beginning. This is just adding to the momentum of the amazing things that's happening in Cuba this year and in the years to come with CEO.